And now for one of the more interesting stories from my life in lovely Tumor Town uh, with your old buddy Bruce. Now, of course, this incident happened well before I was in Tumor Town, but it involves hemorrhoids. I know it makes people shudder when you hear the word. You know, they are extremely painful, nasty, nasty things. And I am one of those people who have been afflicted in my life with what are called externally thrombosed hemorrhoids. Even nastier creatures than you would ever imagine. Now, when I was in my, I want to say late 20s, early 30s, I can't remember precisely when it was, at the tail end of my time at Channel 6, when they were really grinding on me, and I was stressed, I was exhausted, and one day I just happened, I'm sure, to pick something up the wrong way, right? Because when you're tired and you're stressed and you pick something up the wrong way, bingo, odds are you're going to get a hemi outbreak. And by the time I got home, I'm like, something, something's kind of a little odd there in my rear end, but, kept doing my thing, but as time went by, it got worse and worse and worse, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and my dad had suffered from hemorrhoids, so I call him, he's like, oh boy, oh boy, the only thing you can do is get into a hot bathtub. Okay, I make up a hot bath, I sit in it, sure enough, makes the pain almost go away. At least it's tolerable, right? So there I sit, hour after hour, in a hot tub. But the longer you do that, the less effective it becomes. So whatever. But I remember, I'm just freaking out because it hurts so bad and it's not going away. And I put my hand, down over my butt cheeks, on my backside. And I felt something touching my hand, and it was between my butt cheeks. And that was pretty scary, right? There's something big enough that it's sticking far enough out of my rear end to touch my hand while my hand is still touching both of my butt cheeks. This is not good. So, okay, I got to go to the ER, right? I struggle out of the tub. I struggle to get clothes on. I struggle to get out into the car. And believe me, when you're in this situation, it is a struggle to do anything. And I mean, sitting down is, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, it can take 30 seconds just to maneuver yourself to get yourself to where you could sit down, because it's just not something that comes easy when you're in this situation. And the pain I would equate to childbirth. I've never given childbirth, never will, but I would say is probably on a par because it is incredibly painful, right? So I get to the ER, and there I discover, the running gag that's going to be with me for the next basically, 16 hours. You walk up, you explain what your situation is, and the lady says, here, take these forms, sit down over there, fill them out, and then we'll get you going. Now, you know what I have. I've explained it to you, and yet you're telling me to go sit down. You don't offer me one of them little donut things or anything, Just go sit down. And you must be laughing inside when you say it to me, because you know just how difficult and painful that is going to be. But everybody throughout the next 16 hours that I come in contact with does that, right? So I fill all the paperwork out, I give it to them, they take me in the back, the nurse, here, have a seat and put on this gown. Oh, you just want to, oh, yeah, you're just ready. Everybody, oh, here, have a seat, relax, we'll be with you in a minute. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Finally, a doctor comes in, has me, lean over the bed, spreads my butt cheeks, goes, oh my, woo, there's nothing I can do for you. Now, in hindsight, there really is. I mean, he could have, gotten a syringe full of, Novocaine and shot that thing so I didn't feel my butt. Then that would have been a godsend. But no, he's not going to do that, right? Absolutely not. So he just basically says, here's a couple of oral pain pills. Here's a proctologist number. Call them, when you get home from here and get their emergency line. Tell them you'll be in first thing in the morning. You need to be taken care of. Great. Wonderful. So I go home. The pain pills are way too late and way too little. They do nothing. I'm back into the tub, trying my best to mitigate the pain. I've called the proctologist. They're like, the emergency line is, we'll let them know, be here at 7:30 or whatever it was, So I go in, of course, the same, take a seat, fill out the scrap, you're killing me, And of course, the doctor calls himself the Rear Admiral, big jokester. So finally, they take me back into the room, and they've got this table you lay on your belly that hikes your butt up in the air, so they can spread your cheeks apart with tape, so it's nice and open. Everybody can see what they're going to do and the whole deal, And he's, wow, that's a big one. All right, we're going to get you. Don't worry, we'll get you set and dealt with in just a minute. Just relax as best you can. Hang in there, right? And so he's messing around back there somewhere, and I hear the door open in front of me, and I'm, okay, who's that? Must be, I don't know, a nurse, something, I don't know, and I start to look up, and I see, this lovely young feminine form. I look up, excuse me, it's the cancer. And it's this absolutely beautiful young woman. Gorgeous. I mean, absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And, like here I am with my ugly butt in the air with a big hemorrhoid sticking out of it. And here's this gorgeous girl walking in, and that's how she's going to see me. What the heck? But to make matters worse, on top of that, this is not just any ordinary beautiful girl. She's a girl that actually works at my local grocery store as a part-time checkout girl. And I have gone through her line and tried to flirt with her on numerous occasions over the last year or so. And so, you can imagine. I mean, I basically want to just melt right through the floor. I don't want to be there. I don't want anybody to know I exist. I just want to melt into the ether and forget I was ever even born. I am so embarrassed. I mean, this is the last person I ever would have expected to see in this situation. But, I'm locked in. I'm strapped in. Nothing I can do. She walks right over, takes her position next to my butt. And I hear the doctor walk up and talk to her. So I know there she is looking at my lovely butt. How delightful. So at any rate, the doctor said you'll feel a little bit of a pinch, but everything should be okay. And he hits me with a couple of needle shots that hurt a bit. But within seconds, the pain is gone. Absolutely gone. And I mean, at that moment, he was a god to me. I mean, I would have had his child if I could and he wanted me to. Absolutely. I would have done anything he wanted. Didn't matter to me. The pain was gone. I was transformed into another world. And I just sat there and I melted into that table. And I was just, regardless of everything else, the pain is gone. Please let this end soon so I can go bury my head in my bed and embarrass myself no more. So, I hear him back there, snip, 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 clink, 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 as he cuts off the blood clots, and throws them in, because that's what this is, right? It's simply a blood vessel around your anus that ruptures. The blood swells out into the skin, then begins to clot. Boom, boom, you've got a hemorrhoid. And it will eventually take care of itself. But, who's going to wait that long in that case, right? I ain't going to do it. So he's done. He packs me up with a bunch of gauze and cotton and whatnot, gives me some pain pills, says, don't forget to take these. Really, seriously, do not forget. And, I quickly get off that table. I can walk normal. I feel no pain. And I'm out of there like a flash. I'm not like going to sit around and thank him and thank the girl and all that. Forget that. I want to be out of here as fast as possible. I get in my car. I shoot my rocket butt on home. I stop. I get the prescription. I am there. And as soon as they can take those pills, I'm taking them pain pills. And I spent the next week basically recovering at home, and my friends coming over and torturing me by trying to make me do things or make me laugh, because it becomes glaringly apparent that every muscle in your body is connected to your rear end. And laughing, hurts so much. Anything. So I almost got to the point where I wouldn't even let my friends come in. It was that bad. But finally, it heals. We get over it. I managed to poop again, even though that was a pretty scary process in and of itself, doing that again after all that, and I somehow managed to return to life to normal. But obviously, the next time I go to the grocery store, I am avoiding that girl like the plague. I don't go near her aisle. I don't go anywhere near her. I don't want her to see me. I don't want to try to engage with her. I want to avoid her at all costs. And I think I was successful at that for the rest of the time she was working there. I think so. I would have a few other instances over time where I needed to have a hemorrhoid surgically removed like that. Fortunately, that wasn't that often. Most of the time, when I would get them again, I had my own method that I developed that I could deal with it and managed to get rid of it within a matter of a few days. And that always seemed to work out for me. But the Big H Club is something that I carry with me now. It's a badge of honor. Hopefully I won't have one again before I die. I would hate to have that again. So the last time I did, the guy was like, I could do a surgery and you'll never have them again, If I had to, I would now, because Medicare hopefully would cover it. But back then, I would have had to pay for it, and I couldn't afford that. But so that was my terrible, horrible Big H story with the lovely, gorgeous girl seeing me at my lovely finest hour and driving my little pea brain ego into the dirt for one more time. So hope you found that a little bit amusing and get a chuckle from it every now and again. It was certainly a memory that makes me chuckle now. It didn't then, but it does now. All right. Peace, everybody. Hang 10.